Good afternoon. So, as I always start these little videos with the word so, I can report that even though the video I shot yesterday has not yet gone up onto YouTube, basically because of my ridiculously crap internet speed at home. Upload speed is so diabolical that it just takes forever. So no one's seen that video yet, but here's the follow-up. So I walked up to Tesco, which is a long way from my house, and up the bypass as well, which is a particularly relentless incline, but it was fine. Got my prescription, started it this morning, so I took a pill this morning and I got up and weighed myself, 19 stone 9, no change there, usual thing. Weighed myself out a 45 gram portion of grape nuts, which is so piddlingly small. I mean, I know the portion control thing probably has a great deal to do with my weight, but man, like, if 45 grams of grape nuts is the standard, I would eat. Basically, I poured myself the normal bowl, what I would normally have in a bowl of grape nuts, and it's at least 100 grams, maybe between 100 and 120 would be the natural sort of, you know, there we go, grape nuts in the bowl, add the milk, you know. 45 grams is like, it's nothing. Anyway, that's what I had, 45 grams of grape nuts. I took my blood pressure. Now I read an interesting article about these blood pressure monitors, that you should basically take your pressure 3 times with at least a minute in between, a couple of minutes in between, and basically take an average of the readings. Or even some things were saying you should discard the first reading because that's never going to be accurate. I don't know about that, but anyway, so I took several readings and they're all around the same, which was high, but not as high as the other day. Now, it can't be the medication because I've literally just taken one pill about 10 minutes before that. So, you know, that's some wonder drug if that is that. But anyway, so there we are. I managed to do, in the end, about 13,000 steps yesterday. I'm up to about 6,000 now. It'll be 10 by the time I get home at least, or 11. So, walking back from Sainsbury's to Melford. Oh, I wonder sometimes if part of the problem with the lack of results is is kind of judging myself against slightly younger versions of myself, i.e., you know, I am at that age where, you know, muscle atrophy is a natural progression unless you fight it. And you know, this whole idea of, you know, your things slipping slightly, and I don't know, things slowing down, and you get older, and I think if I was doing this amount of walking that I do now in an average week, if I was doing that 5-6 years ago, even with what I'm eating, I think I'd lose weight quite readily. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I've cut out so much, and yet the effects are seemingly quite minimal. I was just thinking the other day, I was just thinking just now as I passed the kebab shop on North Street, I was thinking about the last time I had a kebab, and I had one in the summer, just at the end of, I think when, probably sometime in July, probably July, early August, or could have been even earlier than that, could have been June, but it was when things lightened up a bit, the kids went back to school, you know, after that initial lockdown phase, and I had a kebab. I didn't enjoy it that much. It was okay, but it wasn't mind-blowing. And that had been the first one that I'd had since before lockdown, since March, easily. I know I had a kebab after the gig, that inaugural theatre gig with Lorraine Silver. I can't remember where we were. I had a kebab that night. But anyway, I'm not really missing them. Weirdly. I mean, I am, but I'm not. Not enough to actually have one. And so, I mean, just that would see the amount of that shit that I was eating before all this, before lockdown. Takeaways. The amount of takeaways that I would have in a week was quite astounding. You know, sometimes twice a day. You know, if I had a day in London, in the office in London, I would have some form of takeaway for lunch, and sometimes if it was a Wednesday and I'd go straight from London to rehearsal with the signatures, you know, on occasion me and Dave would have a kebab on the way home, or when we got back to Sudbury, you know. So that would be, you know, so really I can't express enough how sort of different my diet is compared to, you know, 8 months ago. And yet my ability to sort of parlay that into any kind of meaningful weight loss seems really, really tough, you know, which suggests that, you know, obviously I'm still piling in too many calories and not doing enough exercise. But yeah, I don't know, it's tricky, man. It is tricky. Oh, anyway, I'm feeling good. I've taken some positive action, started my medication. There's all manner of bloody side effects that I've got to be aware of, so we'll see if any of those happen. But I'm feeling good about being proactive. Done that step. Gotta get my pressure down. I don't want to die, people. I don't want to not be there for my wife and kiddies. I don't want the music that I'm working on at the moment to be some kind of fucking hopeless legacy. None of that. So, here we are. Good stuff. See you on the next one. Swing!